Hello, I'm Sam Leffendorf from Freedom Here and Now, and I'm here today to talk about a massive problem that I'm seeing in the world. Now, it's awesome that more and more people are starting to realise that they're powerful in being able to create the life of their dreams for themselves and others using techniques from the law of attraction, visualisation processes, manifestation tools, and so much more besides that. The thing is, most of us seem to find that we're coming up against the same old obstacles and getting inconsistent, unsatisfying results. In this video series, I'm going to teach you a simple and effective way to start consciously creating the life of your dreams. I'm going to teach you how to get clear on what it is that you really do want, put simple, daily, effective, positive routines in place that can really support you in getting there. And I'm going to teach you how to start seeing all of the opportunities in life and all of the better things that are out there for you. Then you're going to learn how to uncover and change the emotional, deep-seated blocks and beliefs that are keeping you stuck. I know that when you learn how to do this, you're going to start seeing amazing change in your life. The reason that most people aren't getting what they want is that they're actually creating their life unconsciously, saying that they want something and then their actions just aren't congruent with what they say. Now, manifestation sounds like a magic word, but it's just the process of bringing something into being. And when your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions and your choices are all lined up, then it has to happen. Unfortunately, for many of us, we just don't have these things lined up. And that again leads to inconsistent results, misery and frustration when things don't go our way. Nowadays, I love my life and the work that I do guiding people to understand and create the things that they want in their life. But like everybody else, I've got a story with some tough lessons in how you can very easily create a life that's completely out of line with what you want when you're acting unconsciously. I spent a long time doing work that didn't interest me, didn't fulfill me, didn't motivate me, provided reasonable financial rewards and became a bit of a comfort zone. Because I wasn't clear on what I wanted, life just carried me along. And so I made a choice, and there always is a choice, that I'd just do as well as I could in the financial services industry. Day to day, things were okay. My life outside of work seemed pretty good in a non-stop boozing, partying, eating and drinking, socialising kind of way. However, whenever I stopped for a moment and thought about what I did for a living, I felt dead inside. What had happened to the independent and anarchic thinker that I imagined myself to be? I'd inadvertently got myself caught up in mainstream life, just going through the motions and expending all of my energy on pursuing goals that just weren't my own. When I got made redundant in 2009, my heart leapt. What an opportunity to do something else. I very quickly decided that I was going to retrain as an acupuncturist and completely change my career. But that very evening, I got caught up in a plan with some friends of mine who'd also been made redundant to form a new independent financial planning business. My head told me it was a great idea, but my heart sank. If I'd known then what I know now, I wouldn't have even begun to do something so out of line with my emotions and beliefs about who I am. But my rational mind had taken over, and so I still took that decision to move forwards with that business. I spent 3 miserable years as a co-director of a company that I hated from day one. Even then, things didn't seem that bad. I worked with good people, my life outside of work was pretty good, and it felt okay. But every part of my soul was screaming to get out of there. I just didn't know how. Maybe you're like I was, blaming external circumstances for what was going on in my life. Perhaps, like me, you feel trapped by what you believe is possible to happen. I remember feeling and believing at the time that I just wasn't clever enough to actually do something that I loved for a living. I had to play it safe and I had to stick to what I know. So I kept on doing something that my heart wasn't into, feeling like a fraud advising people on how to manage their money while being absolutely terrible with my own. A very common state of being for financial advisors, by the way, just like a plumber with a leaky tap or a builder with a half-finished house. I was actually at a seminar for people learning to stand up for themselves against legal and financial matters when I first heard about EFT. Someone had been using this bizarre-looking tapping technique to help them when they were going into emotional and complex court cases so that they could remain calm and grounded throughout. Now, this was really interesting for me, and when I got home, I decided to look into it, and before I knew it, I'd booked myself onto an introductory course. At first, I didn't get a lot out of EFT, but everyone else seemed to be getting really great results, so I stuck with it. Initially, I thought it was just a great way to manage your emotions, reduce your pain, and feel less stressed. And actually, those are all great results. However, the more experience and understanding that I've got with EFT, the more that I've realised just how powerful it is as a tool to bring consciousness, awareness and awakening into your life and actually dehypnotise yourself from things that have been keeping you stuck. This is because EFT actually enables you to release stored emotions from old memories that you've been holding on to for a very long time, ever since you had certain experiences in your life which caused you to form beliefs which might be limiting you now. And by releasing those emotions, you're actually able to move on in a much more free way. Now, learning EFT was actually a key part of my escape route from my old company. You remember the financial services one? And that's because I was able to use it during some difficult negotiations on leaving the company to remain really calm and really grounded. And because I was able to stay so grounded and calm, everything went really well. And I ended up leaving on good terms. We're all still friends, and that company's still going strong as well. So it's great that it worked out that way. So the more I used tapping in my life, the more I became conscious and aware of the things that had been keeping me stuck, and more crucially, what I could do about it. But another real bonus that happened was I actually found that I became much more emotional, much more in tune with my emotions, and much more able to experience them and all of the richness and colour that that brought into my life. And that's just been a gift beyond all my expectations. And it's really when I actually look back at my life and how much has changed since I started using these processes that I realise just how powerful it's been. So when I first started out on this journey, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to end up teaching coaches, practitioners and therapists simple techniques that they could use to easily get their clients unstuck, or that I'd be creating transformational programs where I guide people either one-to-one or in groups how to create deep, long-lasting change in their lives. The kind of things that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Some of the things that I'm going to take you through in this video series are directly taken out of my Bust Out of Your Box program. I'm going to show you how to use tapping along with guided visualization to really explore exactly what it is that you do want in your life. As with my story, many people have goals, aspirations, intentions, whatever you want to call them, that they've created in their life, but which aren't actually theirs. So what we're going to do now is going to enable you to really assess the things that you really do want in your life and create goals and aspirations around those. Now, before we start, if you've never done any tapping before, now's the time to quickly pause this video and download the guide. There's a link just below this video that you can use, get clear on the tapping points, and once you've got that, come back and we can begin. Now, before we start, I need to remind you that as with any tapping that you do, if you do decide to take part in this exercise, then you do so 100% under your own responsibility, because EFT is still considered to be an experimental process. So if you've got any doubt whatsoever as to whether you should take part in this, then I recommend that you consult an experienced tapping practitioner. Begin by bringing to mind something that you would like to have in your life, whether in relationships, your career, health, money, or anything else. So you can write this down or just keep it in your head. And as you're thinking of the goal or intention for your life, I want you to start tapping, either on your fingers or around all of the points. Gently beginning to tap. Close your eyes and focus on your intention even more. Picture yourself in your mind's eye, having already achieved whatever it is. Notice all of the sensory information surrounding this picture. Everything you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and feel. Especially begin to notice how it feels to have whatever it is as part of your life. Take a few moments, still tapping, to really tune into the feelings. Where are they in your body? What shape are they? Is it an energizing, uplifting, or heavy and dense energy? Does it have a colour to it, or anything else that it reminds you of? Just decide how good achieving this, whatever it is, would feel to you. Give it a score on a scale where 10 is amazing and 0 means it feels nothing whatsoever emotionally to you to have this thing. I also want you to notice any uncomfortable feelings that come up, any anxiety or nervousness, or feelings attached to negative thoughts, the yeah buts, the what ifs, it will never happen to me, the tail enders to the positive possibilities. Make a note of these, but don't worry about them now. I'll show you how to move beyond these later in video 3. And once you've explored all these feelings, come back and in your own time, gently open your eyes. How did it feel? If the dominant feeling about having achieved whatever it was positive, exciting, or amazing, then chances are that this intention or goal really is in line with who you are and some of your desires. But if it felt drab or flat or uninspiring, then actually it's probably nothing to do with what you really want in your life. It might be one of your should-bes or ought-tos, or even someone else's goals that you've taken on board. If this is the case, then just have a look and see whether you can actually just not do this thing at all. Of course, it may be a responsibility that you have right now, and that's okay. But if it is, don't confuse it with what you really do want in your life. So you can use this process to assess all of the things that you want to have, do, be, or experience in your life. The more that you do it, the better you'll become at using this. And it's really going to start to give you focus on the things that are really important to have in your life. So having EFT at my fingertips really has been awesome in helping me to start to create the life that I really want. However, even with that, I was finding that the results were still haphazard. And it was only when I started to really assess my deep ingrained habits and patterns of behaviour that I found I was really able to start creating really powerful change in my life. Now, everyone has habits, and some of them are very ingrained, and they can be very damaging if you're not conscious of them in order to move forwards. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create some really simple, enjoyable and powerful daily habits that you can use that will really support you in moving forwards and getting what you want. So I really hope you'll join me in part 2.